The threat for widespread severe storms makes today a WRAL weather alert day. I'll show you when we could see powerful, damaging straight-line winds and isolated tornadoes.
Breaking news, a tractor trailer overturned at I-440 and Wade Avenue in Raleigh. What we're learning and how it could affect your morning commute. Prepping for power outages, Duke Energy crews may have a long day ahead of them. What they are doing to get ready for strong wind gusts and the potential for tornadoes.
We appreciate you tuning in to us this Monday morning on a WRAL Weather Alert Day. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Today is going to be an active weather day. It's already very active this morning as we're seeing some strong storms moving through. Let's get right to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. And Elizabeth, today it's level 4 out of 5 risk.
And what that means is that severe storms will be widespread today. When we have a level 1, level 2, it's typically isolated, but this means widespread. It means a lot of us are going to end up with wind damage for today. The winds could be gusting up to 70 miles per hour. And you can see the line of severe storms back to our west. All these yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. Little red boxes that pop up are tornado warnings. We don't actually have any along this line. We had one pop up there, but you can see there are not very many of those, and we're certainly thankful for that. Now, once this line gets to our area, it will have more heat. It'll be a little bit warmer, closer to lunchtime, and there'll be a bit more energy in the atmosphere. So certainly some isolated tornadoes are possible. This morning, we have fast-moving storms across our area. They're moving 50 to 55 miles per hour, producing some heavy rain and a lot of lightning. So if you're about to head out the door to work or maybe to go out and walk the dog, if you can hear thunder, just give it a few minutes. I mean, most likely 5 or 10 minutes and that storm will move on by and you'll have time to get out without the lightning. But we're definitely seeing heavy rain there over 540, and then that stretches on up to Roxborough, where the rain is coming down very heavily right now. And if it's not raining where you are right now, give it 10 minutes because these little cells are popping up everywhere. So storms this morning, but severe storms are more likely starting close to 11 a.m. through around 5 p.m. Damaging wind will be our main threat today, but isolated tornadoes are certainly possible. And we have the chance of some large hail, but that's going to be the lowest risk. Here's Futurecast. Scattered storms with us through the morning. Futurecast tapers those off around 9 or 10, but I'm not so sure that we're going to see that break. And then back to the west at 11 o'clock. Here comes our line of thunderstorms. It's really starting to form up. That's noon and starts to move into our area closer to noon to 1 o'clock. And then just that ongoing threat all the way up until, say, 5 o'clock. Look at that line right there at 5 o'clock moving on through. After that, the severe threat will be over, but there could be a few lingering showers. 65 degrees right now. Winds are south at 18, and it's really gusty out there. We're gusting in the Triangle to 30 miles per hour to 24 there in Rocky Mount. Our high temperature this afternoon around 74. Coming up, we're going to talk more about how to stay safe with this severe weather. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now at the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of that breaking news here in West Raleigh. An overturned tractor trailer on the ramp off of Wade Avenue to 440 eastbound. Let's get right to Allie Cadlebar. She's there looking at that live scene. And so, Allie, fill us in on what you know so far.
Yeah, Ken, we did have to get in the car because there was some lightning that Elizabeth has been talking about all morning. But we can see right now, this is I-440 East on-ramp from Wade Avenue. We can see that the tow truck has some cables attached to that overturned tractor trailer. They're getting ready to flip it upright. Now, we are seeing that we are seeing police blocking off this entrance ramp, again, completely shut down. We also know that no one got hurt. This was the only vehicle involved in this crash as well. And so once they clean this up, they'll be able to reopen this entrance ramp. But for now, it is closed and they are still working to clean it up. But Ken, what do people need to know if they need to take some alternate routes?
Yeah, the really important thing to know back here in the WRAL Traffic Center, if you're heading east on Wade Avenue right now, depending on where you're headed, definitely Blue Ridge Road is your best exit. You could take Blue Ridge to Hillsborough back to the Beltline, or Blue Ridge to Lake Boone Trail, and that'll get you back to the Beltline as well. Again, depending on where you're headed, you want to avoid that on-ramp to I-440 eastbound off of Wade Avenue altogether. But right now, we're seeing very little to no delays on all of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area. You're coming in from Wake Forest, Knightdale, even from Gardner, Johnston County, no delays right now. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Because of the severe weather risks, there will be no in-person classes across the viewing area today. All but 2 of them are closed. You can see Harnett and Wilson counties are shaded in green. That means they have remote learning today. Detailed school schedule changes will continue to run at the bottom of your screen. A link to the full list can be found at the top of the WRAL homepage. We could also see widespread power outages from the storm, and Duke Energy crews are getting ready to respond. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, it's important that people get ready for the possibility of losing power for a significant period of time.
Yes, Renee, and we're already starting to see some rain here in downtown Raleigh outside of Duke Energy's headquarters. Crews here are monitoring the forecast as we're anticipating widespread outages since the storm could bring strong winds. Jeff Brooks with Duke Energy says their crews are preparing to respond to those outages as they come. He says some of their storm prep happens year-round, like trimming trees and upgrading poles and wires. And now it's time for crews to check all of their equipment and be on standby. Brooks says you should have a plan in place for what you would do if you lost power.
When you're talking about a wind event, it may be a condition where you don't want to get out afterwards. So how can you keep your family comfortable? Do you rely on electricity for medical needs? Making sure that you have a plan in place, because if we do see a lot of outages, it could take a few hours before we're able to get everybody restored, maybe even, overnight.
You can watch our full interview with Jeff Brooks on our WRAL YouTube page so you can learn more about how to prepare in case the power goes out in your neighborhood. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News. I'm in Raleigh.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center this morning, where more than 2,000 flights have been canceled across the country because of severe weather threats. Taking a look at what we're seeing here at RDU this morning at 6 a.m., we have 39 flights that have been canceled, 20 delayed. I want to go ahead and show you a look at what we're seeing at Charlotte International, because I know this is also a stop for a lot of people. 77 flights canceled, and we continue to see that number grow this morning. Several airlines, for example, like Delta, have actually alerted travelers about the severe weather threat today and how that could impact your travel. Delta really encouraging people to rebook their flights for a different date and time so that they're not stuck at the airport. So, of course, we're going to continue to monitor the impacts here in the WRAL Live Center.
We appreciate you doing that for us this morning, Laura. Thank you. Governor Josh Stein and other state leaders are asking you to prepare. The governor released a statement reading in part, quote, "Please make sure emergency alerts are enabled on your phone and make a plan for how to keep yourself and your family safe." It's a good reminder also, download the WRAL weather app right now. And this way, you can track the storm in real time with our radar, just like our team of meteorologists. Just make sure your notifications are turned on, and that way you can get alerts.
A person is in critical condition this morning after a deadly shooting in Rocky Mount this past weekend. 2 people were killed Saturday on East Raleigh Boulevard near Pinehurst Drive. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on that scene as officers investigated. There was crime scene tape up at a convenience store. We're working to confirm the ages and names of the victims. No word yet on a motive or whether there are any arrests. People are asking anyone who may know something to reach out.
Let's get you those newest developments in the war in Iran. President Donald Trump is calling on other countries to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And he's doing this as the price of oil per barrel reached its highest level in nearly 4 years over the weekend. Yesterday, the U.S. oil price rose to $102 a barrel. Iran's been blocking oil tankers from moving through the strait. And just a reminder, about 20% of the world's oil supply is transported through there. President Trump suggests the war could last several more weeks, and that is why he is calling on more than a half dozen countries, including China, to help reopen that waterway.
I can't really say for sure, but China's an interesting case study. They get most of their oil, as you know, by far. They get a lot, about 90% from the strait. So I said, would you like to come in, and we'll find out. Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Now, you heard him say that China receives about 90% of its oil through the strait. However, experts in various reports say China actually gets closer to around 40 to 45% of its oil through the strait. The president is also calling on France, Japan, South Korea, and the UK to send warships to the waterway. Now, as for what all this means for you, let's look at gas prices. According to AAA, the national average is around $3.72. That is more than 20 cents from a week ago. The North Carolina average is $3.52, and the average in Raleigh, $3.56.
Let the big dance begin. The Duke Blue Devils earned the top overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Duke will play Siena College out of New York at 2:50 on Thursday in Greenville, South Carolina. The teams are competing in the East region. NC State will play Texas at 9:15 at night tomorrow in the First Four in Dayton, Ohio. Both are 11 seeds in the West region. And the 6 seed Tar Heels will play 11 seed VCU Thursday at 6:50 p.m. That will also be in Greenville. The teams are playing in the South region. And we will have women's March Madness right here in the Triangle. Duke is hosting as a 3 seed. They will face Charleston Friday in Durham. UNC will enter as a 4 seed. They face Western Illinois in Chapel Hill on Friday. NC State will not host. They are a 7 seed this year. The Wolfpack will head to Michigan to face Tennessee on Friday. Still ahead, animal shelter upgrades. Wake County leaders are considering a contract to update the shelter's HVAC system. How this could go a long way in caring for the animals.
And I'm tracking a powerful line of thunderstorms starting to move into the mountains. I'll show you when it arrives here and what you can expect.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14. What's new this morning is a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect across western North Carolina. We will likely see that extended either as a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning in the next several hours. Strong thunderstorms this morning across our area with frequent lightning, but the severe threat will be later on this morning, closer to lunchtime. Wind damage will be our greatest threat, but isolated tornadoes are possible. Here's a look at that severe thunderstorm watch back to the west, but again, it will get extended across our area, possibly as a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, watch, I should say. Speaking of warnings, these yellow boxes here, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings that are back to our west. We don't have storms that are strong enough for warnings right now, but we do have a lot of cells across our area, especially from the Triangle area northward, that are producing some heavy rain and some frequent lightning, so be careful out there. This is a live look at Carr Lake, where the rain is coming down very heavily right now. Again, later on today, starting around lunchtime, wind damage will be our greatest threat. We could see a lot of that today, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, we're in traffic every 10 minutes. Let's get right to that situation. We've been monitoring all morning long that tractor-trailer crash. That's an overturned 18-wheeler on the ramp to 440 eastbound off of Wade Avenue. Here's what it looked like with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see first responders there on the scene. The tow truck is there. That ramp is completely shut down. So back here in the WRAL Traffic Center, if you've got some plans on Wade Avenue as part of your morning commute, your best bet will be to exit on Blue Ridge Road, whether or not you're heading to Hillsborough or Lake Boone Trail. Those two routes will get you right back onto the Beltline. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Today, Wake County leaders are voting on funding for upgrades at the Wake County Animal Shelter. The Board of Commissioners is considering a more than $900,000 contract to install new HVAC units at the shelter. The shelter recently opened after being shut down for 6 weeks for repairs. Outside ventilation air is crucial in animal centers to maintain a healthy and a comfortable environment for the animals. Also happening today over in Durham, people will get the chance to weigh in on the next city budget. A public hearing on the 2026-27 budget is set for tonight's meeting. The City Council will also receive the city's financial report from last year. Tonight's meeting will be at City Hall at 7 o'clock.
It is 6:16, and already we're seeing some strong storms moving through our area, Elizabeth, and then to the west of us will be round 2 and what's coming later.
Yeah, so this is going to be almost an all-day event, at least in waves. It's not going to be, thunderstorms, constantly, but it's just going to be something we'll have to watch for all day long. So this line here with the yellow boxes, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. And of course, a lot of times, the thought is, well, severe thunderstorm warnings not usually as strong, not as big a deal as a tornado warning. Today, it definitely is. Today, we'll likely have widespread severe thunderstorm warnings with winds up to 70 plus miles per hour. And these storms will do the same sort of damage as tornadoes will. So anytime we start to see warnings rolling through, it's time to be aware. Of course, if we see tornado warnings, those are the red boxes. You can see those down there in southern Georgia. Those, of course, you want to make sure that you're in your safe place, which is a basement or an interior room of your house. This is interesting. What's happening right now is from Georgia down through Alabama Alabama. That line is really starting to firm up a little bit. It's a lot nastier looking. And notice across the mountains of North Carolina, that line is sort of fallen apart a little bit. While that's great news, the timing for us when this moves through our area is going to be closer to lunchtime. And so it'll be a lot warmer. Temperatures are cooler now. When the storms roll through here, when it's warmer, there's more energy in the atmosphere, and we'll have a better chance of that nasty line redeveloping. This is a look at the storm reports over the last couple of days, and the white circles there are wind damage. So much wind damage with this system, and not as many reports of tornado damage. Just one of those well back to our west. Right now, we're dealing with scattered storms, but the bulk of them right now are actually in our northern counties. We may get a little bit of a break for a few hours before we start to see more of them developing. But from Wake Forest to Youngsville, headed up toward Henderson, that's where we have some of the heaviest rain right now. And in Carr Lake, you're definitely seeing some of that rain coming down very heavily. We take a look at our severe threat, and you can see it's a level 4 risk all across our viewing area. That means that storms will be widespread today. We take it through Futurecast and notice how things really start to redevelop again between, say, 9 and 11. And then here comes our line of thunderstorms. That starts to move into our area between 11 a.m. and noon. And then the severe storms are likely to be scattered across our area through the afternoon. Here's 3 o'clock, lots of coverage. Line here at 4 o'clock in our eastern counties, and that starts to pull out around 5 o'clock or so. After that, there may be a few light showers a bit later on. So this is a look at our timeline. Round 1, we just have some smaller cells that are moving fast that are producing a lot of lightning. And then round 2, from closer to lunchtime to 4 or 5 o'clock, that's where we'll have our best chance of damage. And wind damage may be our biggest threat out of this system. And then, of course, some gusty showers. We're going to talk more about some of those severe threats, some of those potential winds and how strong they could be with meteorologist Chris Michaels.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, you were just saying how the wind damage is probably going to be the main threat with any kind of severe storms that we see developing. So we've got that highlighted in the red. And as you also showed with some of those storm reports, there is the potential for a few tornadoes, but you see that that's not going to be quite like April 16th of 2011 was, right? That was an outbreak. We're not expecting that, but still a few tornado warnings are going to be possible. Not overly concerned about large hail in this particular setup, but here's the reason why we're thinking wind is the main thing. You've got the warm air in place right now, cold air that's behind it. And so as rain falls into that rain-cooled air, it rushes behind the main line, and that's your straight line wind, which can cause some pretty decent damage as we go throughout the day today. These storms are also moving very quickly, so I anticipate that the warnings that the National Weather Service issues, that they're going to be pretty large, means you'll probably have to act pretty quickly as well. You guys have been spending the past couple days preparing for the possibility of this, so acting quickly should be easily achieved as we go throughout the day today. Meanwhile, temperatures in the 70s for this afternoon, but we're near freezing first thing tomorrow morning. 40s for highs through Wednesday, but we're back to near 70, the first official day of spring on Friday. Ken?
All right, Chris, we want to get right to that major trouble spot there in West Raleigh this morning. An overturned tractor trailer, the ramp off of Wade Avenue onto 440 eastbound. Here's what it looks like with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. Ali Candlebar also on the scene there. You can see first responders on the scene trying to figure out how to right that thing back up on its 4 wheels. That entire ramp is completely shut down right now. It's just a one vehicle crash. So back here to the WRAL Traffic Center, if you're heading east on Wade Avenue this morning, you definitely want to take the Blue Ridge Road exit, whether you're going to Hillsborough or Lake Boone Trail. Both routes will get you right back to the Beltline this morning. But right now we're seeing very little to no delays on all of our major routes. You're coming in from Wake Forest, coming in from Knightdale, relatively delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
6:21 now. Late fees are back. The city of Raleigh has resumed them for water bills. The issues that prompted the city to pause those late fees and what you can expect on your next water service bill.
Plus, bringing home the gold. How a Harnett County teenager helped seal Olympic immortality for Team USA and secure top honors in sled hockey.
Now, if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A look back at some moments generating buzz at the Oscars.
Let's talk all about that. We have Ken Smith this morning now on What's Trending.
And of course, Conan O'Brien hosted, so there'll be plenty of moments for laughs, including when he crowned himself king in an elaborate skit. Conan gave himself an award, and then he was crowned on stage. He was also serenaded by singer Josh Groban as he ascended to his throne.
This was his second time as host and second year in a row hosting the Academy Awards. He had a pretty good line. He said something about how he's honored about being the last human host for the Academy Awards because next year it'll be Waymo in a tux.
Oh, my goodness. be very afraid. So, hey, let's stick with the Oscars and the red carpet. Pedro Pascal went with a clean shave for the award show.
Shocking.
Such a scandal. In most of his major roles, we all know Pascal is typically sporting some sort of beard or mustache combo. My goodness.
I know, caught a lot of people off guard. I'm even like, is that my boy
Who
Pedro?
is that guy?
Such a baby face, yeah.
He must be preparing for some sort of baby face role. I mean, clearly that's what it is. Thanks, Ken.
Sure.
A historic win for the U.S. men's Paralympic sled hockey team. They beat Canada to secure its 5th straight gold medal. That team has North Carolina connections as well. We're talking about Caden Beasley, representing Team USA in Milan, and he is from Coates, North Carolina, Harnett County. He scored a goal yesterday, the only North Carolinian to score and win a gold medal in Milan. With the win, the Americans became the first hockey team, Olympic or Paralympic, to win 5 back-to-back titles and the first to complete a hockey golden sweep.
5 back-to-back, wow. Your time is 6:26 this morning. Prepping for power outages. Duke Energy teams may have a long day ahead of them. What they're doing to get ready for strong wind gusts and potential tornadoes.
School closures. Students will not be in class today because of the potential for severe weather. We have what you need to know to prepare you and your family for the threat.
And here is that threat. We have a cold front, and well ahead of it, we have a line of strong to severe thunderstorms that is headed our way. Even this morning, we have some cells that have popped up across our area. Not severe, but they're definitely causing some issues out there. We'll take a look coming up.